We got through that some way, somehow. I appreciate Chris Bandy, Christian Johnson, Dennis Manning coming in for the first time we've ever done 3 coaches together on the Coaches Super Show. So now we've got the one, the only Michael Gutierrez to finish out the first day. We're almost 2.5 hours into this thing, and Mike, I appreciate you coming in. Can you follow that up?
I don't know. I mean, everyone knows Dennis is a legend around here, so and not only coaching wise, but personality too. So and then it's going to be tough.
Yeah. And for those that don't know, you helped open up Miramonte back in 2009. And when you look at, obviously, only 17 wins in 9 years, I'm sure it's tough for you to see that, even though they're a league rival of yours. But you see a guy like Christian Johnson come in who's had winning pedigree at Ridgeview. You get excited about that because you obviously want winning programs in your league as well, especially one that was so that you helped foster.
Yeah, I mean, Miramonte was a great campus when we were there, and I shouldn't say it still is, but it was fun with that experience of being able to open it up and work with those guys. I mean, we had some fun memories and we had some decent times there. And so it's tough to always see kind of a school like that. Even Foothill, I mean, I went there, I coached there for, 2 different stints that see them like that. So you're always hopeful that they can get going, and also knowing it helps our league out and helps strengthen the schedule for us personally if they can get everything together. So that's what we hope for.
Well, and you really have done it at Highland, which is incredible what you've been able to do for this program that had opened in 1970, had never even had a league championship of any sort. And then last year, you get a share of the SEYL title for the first one, and it's been such a great, I think, really like 12 to 18 months for boys sports at Highland when you look at what the baseball team was able to do, the summer, the spring before winning league title, what Rick Mayberry's done with the track and field and with the cross country or in the cross country programs as well. Your 8-0 start to the season, I mean, when you look back, and I know you got to close that chapter, but how much fun was that for you guys last year to be able to have that run and have so much experience for these guys?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a lot of fun. Where, I mean, the memories would be something that I think we'll hold for a long time, and I hopefully those kids do too. And just being able to do some of the things we did, and what made it special too was how easy that group was to coach, and we were able to install a lot of stuff that I don't know if we would have done it at other schools or been able to do things that quick with any other group. So that made a lot of fun, and a lot of those kids were doing other sports, and so it carried over to their other sports, or their maybe success in the other sports carried over to us. And I think it's kind of just left a legacy where now it's the expectation at Highland. Our kids that played with them last year, and I just had lunch with some of our kids, and they we talked about how just kind of the expectation now is for us to continue to do well, and it's gone down to the lower groups, and I think that confidence is there for Highland athletics now. So
that's gone. That year is over. Now you got to open it up again. Where's your excitement level with this group, and how do you guys build off of that success from last year?
I think personally for me, some of the excitement is just being able to. We have kids who have been in our system, from their first day they walk in. That group we lost last year, they were freshmen my first year, so everything was still kind of new. And now our coaches, I mean, they know everything how we want to do it very, very well. So it's easy for them to teach the kids, but these kids now, it's just normal to them. But it's also fun because we did lose a lot of kids, so it's fun to really reconnect with the new group of kids, and it's fun to be able to do some of the coaching that maybe I didn't have to with, like Zika Rambulo and Kate Sakamoto being 3-year quarterbacks for us. And so having new quarterbacks to work with some of the small details that you're having to teach them, that makes it fun. But this group, I think, could be another special group. And athletically at our skill positions, I've told people this before, I don't know if I've coached this much talent at some of our skill spots of just the speed we have and how deep we can be there. And so it makes it very exciting for us.
And I think 2 of those guys you talk about are 2 sport athletes, Matthew Miranda and Nick Salas. First off, Matthews still sporting the long hair?
Still has it, yeah.
That's killer. I love it. After everything he did for you, probably, caught the biggest pass ever in school history when you guys beat South last year on that Hail Mary. What does he bring to you guys as a leader?
So both those guys well, Matt's going to be a 3-year starter. Nick was a sophomore for us last year. But, anytime you have a guy who's played 3 years for us, they understand exactly what you want when it comes to their senior year. And they've been through, with different groups and seen different leadership or senior leadership. So I think just that experience is big. He's a guy on campus that everyone respects because, one, he's been one of the top athletes, but also he's just one of the best people on our campus. Right. And he's always willing to help people out. If you need something, he's the first to, give you the shirt off his back. And so he has that respect level from the rest of the team, and so that makes it easy for him when things maybe he realizes someone's not doing something they should, and he can speak up and say, no, this is the way we do it here. And it's always good to have guys like that on your campus, but also someone who's just that good at everything they do. It makes it a lot of fun to coach.
So looking ahead at it, you open up on the road at Arvin, and then you play a very good Shafter team. Mm-hmm. You're home against Kennedy, a team that you've always got to kind of worry about because they got great athletes there. Then you go up to Tehachapi, and you never know what you're going to get out of the Warriors up there before you get Golden Valley at home, before you open up league. Before we get into your league and what the new look of the league is, what do you hope to get out of those first 5 weeks in this program?
The one thing we've been talking to our kids is making sure that we're competing and that we're always showing that fight. And that's one thing that we've been proud of our teams is that we just don't stop playing. We don't give up. And so these guys we've talked about just making sure we show that toughness, and no matter what the situation is, we're playing as hard as we can and not letting anything distract us or affect us. Rather, we're up, down, call for us, against us, that we just play, giving it our all the whole time. So we are bringing some guys in at some new spots, so hopefully we see some consistency there, and we just kind of see us starting to gel, and hopefully that carries over into league where we had a good non-league schedule, so kind of us connecting can allow us to go on a run again.
Before we get into what East brings to this league, just the fact that you're an East Side guy, how excited are you? And I'm sorry, for a guy that's only been here 4 years, I think mostly, what is ever north of Weibel and east of the 99 all the way up to North High, that's the East Side now, just the way that the landscape of the city is. And Oildale is probably part of that. And when you look at South and North and then the true East Side schools of Miramonte and you guys and East and Foothill, what does that mean for you to have a league of all you guys competing against each other? And you've been playing for this cup that Ken Chapman, AD over East, created 3 years ago. What does it mean for you guys to really have a league of your own now?
I think it's special because it carries bragging rights. And we always talked about the East High game being a big rival game. And now it carries more meaning because it can really affect whether it be your stance in league, maybe it's where you are in playoffs, and it's not just a one-game thing. It can really have an impact on your season. So for all these schools that, on the East Side where you grow up together, you know each other, it's bragging rights, but now it can be, well, hey, maybe we kept you from a certain seed, or maybe we kept you from going into the playoffs, and or just, hey, we proved that we were the best of whatever schools it was that were competing in that league. So I think it's exciting. I think it's something good for us and for our league to have them there, and I think it brings our league some more strength too, which is always a good thing.
And now you've got a league too that not only has a new school in East, but you've got 3 of those schools have brand new head coaches. Obviously, Chad Grider's got head coaching experience at West, but he comes in at East. Christian Johnson, first-year head coach. Brandon Deckard had great success up at Kern Valley. He's now at Foothill. We'll talk to those guys tomorrow. But then you look at, you're in your 5th year. Norm Brown's in his 4th year at North. When you look at, and then Kerry Mills obviously has done great things since he took over for his mentor, John Wren. And you look at it, that might be, a solid 6 that could be sticking around and maybe do some great things on the East Side and bring some prominence back to that side and the football prowess that had been there for decades.
Yeah, and that's the hope, like I said at the beginning, was that, we're cheering for Miramonte and Foothill in the sense that, we want a competitive league. We know at times that maybe we're looked down on because we've had teams that haven't done so well. Mm-hmm. And one thing, I've talked to Kerry about this before and talked to Norman about it is, our games against South, our games against North, they're tough games. And same thing when they play each other is that, and I think sometimes it's taken for granted because of whether it be our league or our strength of schedule that, there are some hard hitting, there's some good football being played in those games, and so hopefully as a league, and if those new coaches can get consistency there, where we can say, hey, we've all worked very hard and we're respectable across the board, and we're all competing across the board too, not only with each other, but teams throughout town.
It's August 7th, Mike, and football season starts next week. It's already started for you guys. I'm excited for you guys. You got a lot of momentum to build off of. I appreciate you coming in and kind of taking up the tail end of this show today. So thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. All right, so that's it. That first day is now officially done. We've had 12 head coaches from around Kern County in studio today. We got another 10 tomorrow, 11 tomorrow, because Doug DeGear was a postponement, but it's exciting. We start again at noon. Tyler Scheihalbel, the new head coach over Independence, he's going to be our first guest. We're going to end up tomorrow with Paul Gola out of BHS and Doug DeGear out of Tehachapi. It's always live right here at Bakersfield.com and the BVarsity Live Facebook page. For our sports editor, Teddy Feinberg, our director and newlywed, Diana Rodriguez. Appreciate both of them. John Metis helped us out all day long, getting the coaches up and down. And each and every coach that came in today, it's a great pleasure to have them on. And it is a new school year here at BVarsity, and this is the first thing that you're going to see. And we're going to keep this ball rolling. So we're going to sign off for now. We'll be back at noon tomorrow. Tune in, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.